الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, the few days that we have for the holy month and the couple of slots that we've been allocated. Obviously, the time given was so short for me to prepare. It was like just yesterday that, if you can fill in the gap. And luckily, I have the Fajr lessons with me. And I realize that most of the people who come for Zohrain are not there for Fajr. So this is one advantage that I had. That I didn't see people in Fajr, but I see them in Zohar. So inshallah, I would like to share the line of discussion that inshallah we will be taking is the importance of knowledge. I want to give a brief first before we actually get into the topic. What's the source of information? The source of information is from a book compiled by Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli. And it's called The Keys of Life. In Arabic, it's called Mafatihul Hayat. Mafatihul Hayat. So, obviously the book is in Arabic. I've gotten this information from Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Shumali, not Jawad Shumali, but his father, Sheikh Muhammad Shumali. There are about 83 lectures of about 15-20 minutes each addressing these issues, various issues. Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli felt that we have a book with us called Mafatihul Jinan by Sheikh Abbas al-Qummi. And that book is meant for Jannah, paradise, keys to paradise, Mafatihul Jinan. Ayatollah felt that it is so necessary because we are living at this moment on planet Earth and we are bombarded with a lot of issues, problems, the forces are against us. How do I face these issues? I have to live here. Jannah will come, inshallah, but for now, I'm living in this world. So Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli felt that there is a necessity for a book that would be a guide for the believers as to how to successfully live a life in this world, managing the problems. You can't avoid problems. Problems, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ خَلَص. It's a default setting. The problems are going to come. There's no doubt about it. How do I manage these issues? So these are the lessons that Ayatollah has basically. So a quick brief on how he's done it. First of all, with regards to Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, I don't think anybody really needs an introduction of such a great scholar. I think in the contemporary world today, he probably would be number one. So if you talk about being a muhaddith, all right, he is also a faqih, a philosopher, a mufassir of Quran, and a great mystic. Cumulative together at a very high level, not basic level. Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli. His teachers, Ayatollah Khomeini, Allama Tabatabai, and Ayatollah Mirza Ahmad. These are just the few teachers that Ayatollah had. Now, how did he manage to compile these ahadith? So what Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli did, he got a few scholars, top-notch scholars. I mean, when you're talking about Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli up there, he would not have low class, he would have the top-notch scholars there. The reason for introducing a background on this is for us to appreciate and understand this information that has come down to us. Wallah. Had it not been for our scholars, believe me, I think after my parents, the next group of people that I need to pray for are these scholars. Had it not been for them, wallah, and their sacrifice, what we have gotten today, we would never have got it. So honestly, this is something that we need to pay our respects to. So he basically got all these scholars together and he supervised this whole mission of this book, Keys of Life, Mafatihul Hayat. And these scholars picked about 6,000 ahadith Now, these are screened hadiths that have come in, authenticated, confirmed that these are the words of Masumin alayhi salam, no doubt in this. 6,000 ahadith. And then he compiled this book into 5 chapters. Obviously, the time that we have been given here, we will probably take just one subject of one chapter. There are 5 chapters with various subjects in it. So we will only pick one chapter and one subject from that chapter. So anyway, just for interest's sake, what does this book involve? In the first chapter, Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli talks about our relationship with ourselves. There are about 10 to 15, I can't recall, subtopics on this one. Relationship with ourselves. We started in the Fajr, the first chapter, and it's been almost 3 months plus that we have done it, and we are still in the second topic of the first chapter. We finished the first topic, which is tafakkur and tadabbur. I would have loved to bring that in, but I felt the second subject is much important. The first one is tafakkur and tadabbur. Tafakkur and tadabbur not only in the books of ahadith or Quran, la. Tafakkur and tadabbur in our day-to-day actions. When we speak, when we even, I even bring a thought in my mind, I need to do tafakkur before I bring it there. Forget about the speech comes later. Now these are the advices that Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli has picked up this ahadith and wants to give it to us. The first chapter, our relationship with ourselves. I'm not very good with timekeeping. And especially when I'm fasting, I speak without break. So you'll have to tell me when to stop. Second chapter is a relationship with our fellow beings. How do I relate with mankind? And number 3, relationship between the people and the Islamic state. Let's say if you are living in an Islamic state, some of these probably may not be related to us, but relationship between the other people. The 4th chapter, Ajib, is about animals. What's my relationship with animals? A hadith collected by Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, teaching us in this world, how do I relate with animals? And number 5, the environment. A hadith to do with the environment, our discipline and our respect towards the environment that we are living in. Amazing educational material. Anyway, I would have thought that my time would finish in the introduction, but alhamdulillah, I still have time, so we'll squeeze in a couple of ahadith. So this series of lectures will only be quoting ahadith from what Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli has collected, and then whatever commentary that you hear is not mine. I'm not responsible. I get this from Sheikh Muhammad Shumali. Verbatim, word to word, whatever says, I copy, I paste, I share. It's not coming from me. So, we go into the second part of the first chapter. Shogat bhai, you okay? There is a hadith from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa. By the way, my apologies. The second topic of the first chapter is to do with learning, acquiring knowledge, importance of knowledge, ilm. Yes? The hadith of the Prophet says, these are scrutinized ahadith. So let's take this as coming from the Masum themselves. They are here and they are presenting verbatim the way it is. Every hadith has to be taken this seriously. Hadith is like Quran. When Quran is recited, listen to it. It's a command. There can't be a difference from words coming out from the Masumin, because Prophet says, I'm living 2 equal things. It's not one over the other. Both are equal. These are words of Masumin alayhi salam. Prophet says, you must either be a learned person or a person who is learning. There's no third option here. This hayat that I have gotten in this world, in this life, Prophet says, you have only two options. Either you be a teacher or you be a student. Now, we will go into the detail that talabul ilm, you know, there is a hadith that says talabul ilm, seek knowledge. What is seeking knowledge? Is seeking knowledge a casual sitting in a majlis, for example, I'm getting my knowledge from there. According to the scholars, they say that's not seeking knowledge. There's a default setting you're getting. What is seeking knowledge? There is a definition, and it's scary. These are responsibilities, fard on us, wajib. Just like namaz is wajib, seeking knowledge is wajib. So now Sheikh says here, Sheikh Shumali, we have no excuse to say, I don't know and I don't want to know. I don't know is valid. I want to know. But I don't know and I don't want to know is an issue here. I have to be a student. I don't know, I need to go to someone who knows and I ask him, I sit in front of him as a student. So he says, Sheikh says, you must avoid being a person who is simply passing his time doing mundane things. We have no exception here, Habibi. These are very, very serious. Then the Prophet continues, he says, you must avoid being a person killing his time and not doing anything serious. Let's go into the next hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. How much time I have? Oh, I got 10 more minutes. So, beautiful hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Alaykum bil ilm wal adab. You must acquire knowledge and good manners. Two things. You must acquire knowledge and good manners. Then Imam continues, it's such a beautiful hadith, I'm telling you, it's amazing. فَإِنَّ الْعَالِمْ يُكْرَمْ وَإِن لَمْ يُنْتَسَبْ. An alim, subhanallah, even if he does not belong to a noble family, he is respected. Even if he, an alim, does not come from a noble family, he's still respected. We normally, when we meet people and we want to find out who the family is, you know, kyanti awa cho, tamari family no lakab su che, kai family mati awa cho. So obviously I would relate to a person based on the label that I'm giving him, that if he's from a royal family, my relationship will be a bit different with the royal guy. And if it is not a too royal guy, then I will not be able to relate with him the way I relate to the other. It doesn't work like that with an alim. An alim is not known through his family. Normally, Sheikh says that if you meet an alim, a scholar, the recognition of the status of the scholar will be based on one particular question, maximum two. Which hawza did you attend to? We relate his respect to the hawza and who are your teachers. The moment he says that this was my teacher and you have a giant teacher up there, period, you start respecting him. Imam says, فَإِنَّ الْعَالِمْ يُكْرَمْ. An alim, by virtue of his knowledge, even if he is coming from a simple background or a family, he is respected in society. Number one. وَإِن كَانَ فَقِيرًا. An alim, even if he's poor, he doesn't have wealth, he doesn't have money, in society he will be respected because of the ilm, the knowledge that he has, importance of knowledge. That's the status, that's his crown, that's his royalty. He's faqir. وَإِنْ كَانَ حَدَثًا, even if he's young, alim, young. A 32-year-old alim walks in the masjid or Imam Barga, a 65-year-old man will stand up to respect him. Alim. The royalty crown is on his head. So when I was preparing this, and I'll conclude with this, I remember Sheikh Noor, when he was here, he mentioned Sayyid Munir Khabbas, Al-Khabbas. I know a little bit about him, very little about him, and I'm sure Mullah Sajjad is here because I went through that session that Aftab had, and you had invited him to give a short talk. Relatively very young man. Yes? I can see a little bit of white on his hair, quite a bit of white in his hair, but previously with the videos I have seen was all black. Hadith says that even if an alim is a young man, he is respected. Sayyid Munir Khabbas is a young man. The little that I have heard about this man is one of an emerging scholars. His speech, his eloquence, his clarity of material. I heard some of his lectures with English subtitles. Most complicated subjects he would come and simplify, and in the most clear of messages he will deliver it. Very bright, intelligent, future marja. Keep his name in mind. And I have this yaqeen in me that these are all workings of our 12th Imam. Imam is preparing something for us. There's something happening in the background. We do not want to be in a group that criticize these scholars. Habibi, we'll be in trouble. These are army of Imam. Let's not joke with this. In fact, on the contrary, in any groups that we sit, anybody talks a little bit about marjas, we have to be up there for defense. This is the key. Otherwise, we will be on the other side of the party. These are Imam's troops. We can see there's a miracle in this. Hadathan, yani, this man is a young man, but amongst the elderly marja, he is emerging as a very respectable scholar. So inshallah, I will stop here, and not tomorrow, but from Saturday onwards, inshallah, we shall continue. I'll not open the floor for, I'm not as gutsy as Sheikh Noor to open it for questions, but one question? The lectures? Okay, beautiful. These are 83, and I tell you, we have no excuse today to say, I don't know. I can sit at home, put my poof there, put my leg on top there. I have potato crisps here, for example. I can pick the topic I want. I can pick the scholar I want. Mara पास इसो excuse से आजे to say के बना क्या नवी बात ले वो चे बना समझ नहीं पड़ती. These are lectures, keys to life. 83 lectures on YouTube, 20 minutes each. Wallahi, only 20 minutes each, maximum 25. Keys to Life by Sheikh Muhammad Shumali. If anybody is interested, WhatsApp me a message, I'll send you a link, inshallah. The book is there, but it's not translated in English. That's, at least from the time till Sheikh gave these lectures, the book had not been translated in English. So, inshallah, we conclude with a dua. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك على كل شيء قدير اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الفاتحة اللهم صل على